The Monuments Men chronicles the true story of 7 artists, historians, and architects sent to the front lines of World War II in order to retrieve the world's greatest stolen masterpieces from Nazi thieves.
Here's a scene from my film, Monuments Men.
Want to get into the war?
Monuments Men.
I'm to put a team together and do our best to protect buildings, bridges, and art before the Nazis destroy everything.
How many men?
6.
Jesus.
Well, with you at 7.
That's much better.
Why was art even being stolen?
It was kind of that theory of the spoils of war, and Hitler was just taking everything, and he was taking everything from the, literally took everything from the Jewish collectors. Just took these massive amounts of masterpieces that he took from Jews who had either fled or he just took it and put them in camps.
The Germans are on the run, but they're taking everything with them. So we got to get right to the front.
Hitler was an art student who got rejected from art school, unfortunately, because had he got in, none of that ever would have happened.
Action!
That's why these guys, the Monuments Men, like guys who were basically over the hill, you know, in soldiering years, basically, went to basic training and went after it.
You want to go into a war zone with some architects and artists and tell our boys what they can and cannot blow up.
That's right.
Aren't we a little old for that?
Yes.
Well, when I think of war heroes, I definitely don't have these guys in mind. Well, share with me, who were these monument men?
We're artists.
Artists?
Yeah, guys who know enough about art so that even though we're not trained in anything and we're certainly not soldiers, we're smart enough to go to Germany and other countries nearby and know enough so that we can weasel our way in and try to steal this art back.
We go through basic and then we wait for orders.
Basic?
Little help.
Basic training. Oh boy.
To identify it and try to preserve it and hide it from those who are trying to steal it and steal it back from those who've stolen it. They're taking it easy on us. I feel sorry for us old geezers.
I'm standing here with Robert Etzel, who is the author of the book, The Monuments Men. So share with me, why is this time, this period, considered the biggest treasure hunt of all time?
You have, during World War II, epic theft by Adolf Hitler and the Nazis of millions and millions of objects. And we're not talking about just paintings, but musical manuscripts, church bells, drawings, stained glass from churches. And it's a premeditated looting on a scale we've never seen before, of course, using the methods of transportation that they have.
I've never shot at anyone before.
What was it like working with George Clooney as the director?
George directed this? Well, he told us his name was Rodney something, right? He used a bogus name.
The Kentucky guy?
Yeah.
Underneath his easygoing, joking, funny, charming exterior, there is the most focused, most serious human being who never wants to get caught being serious, which is fine because it's great to work under these circumstances.
Yeah,
but he's very serious.
Doesn't let his passion show.
I'm gonna have a reverse, I'm gonna have it closer. So let me get something wider that I get to see.
We got company. Frank, we gotta go.
That's what Hitler wants. And it's the one thing we can't allow.
These guys, they literally feated the impossible. They did the impossible. What were some of the challenges that they faced?
Well, the number one challenge was to stay alive. They weren't warriors. They were sort of brainiac kind of types, emotional brainiacs, and they had to go there and try to convince the hierarchy of the military that what they were doing was valuable, and they had to be afforded access to the very front, to the very close to the front of the lines. Looks like we're gonna be together, buddy.
One of the biggest challenges, and it's a kind of a central question of the movie, is it worth a life, you know, to try to save one of these things? That was one of their big obstacles, was trying to convince the army, who were in the middle of a war, that this should be a priority.
And then Bob saying we're missing one.
It became like a race, a manhunt, a chase to try to overtake them before they either destroyed it, which was one of the edicts of the Fuhrer, was if he were to be killed or the Reich were to fall, that all the art would be destroyed. So they had to try to get to it before that event happened, and to try to get to it before the war ended, because the end of the war was going to end maybe all of the art.
What have you got? I seem to have stepped on a landmine.
Why would you do something like that?
What do you got?
Lieutenant here seems to have found himself on top of an unexploded mine.
Why would you do that?
You all been spending too much time together.
Yeah!
Made in Hollywood.